How you doing, Dave? Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying Daf Nun Hey, Daf 55. Masechta BavaMetzia. Friends, your friends. Today is probably going to be a shorter Daf because we're starting at the Mishnah, kind of in the middle of the Amud of Nun Hey Amud Aleph, and I think we'll probably stop at the Mishnah, kind of towards the top of Nun Hey Amud Beis, which I guess means that tomorrow is going to be a little bit longer. But there isn't really a great stopping point after that. So I think we'll probably just do a longer daf tomorrow. So I think today might be a little bit shorter, which that would be kind of nice, right? I feel like 50 plus minute dafs have been like the norm recently, which is crazy. But that's BavaMetzia, and that's why we love it. Let's go back to. All right, we're going to start on Daf Nun Hey Amud Aleph at the Mishnah. Ha'onah haba'a kesef. Okay, as we know, onah is, if you have a dinar, which is 24 ma'as of kesef. So 4 of 24 is a sixth, which of course is onah, so a sixth. Ve'atayna shtei kesef ha'ida shavet pruta. So, if you have a BavaMetzia, so there's a minimum that if you take somebody to court, Shimon takes Reuben to court for a minimum of 2 kesefs, of 2 ma'as, and then Reuben is either admits, he says, no, you only lent me a pruta, or he says, you lent me 2 kesef minus a pruta, it's a little bit less, whatever it is. So that would be BavaMetzia. Okay. Chomish pruta saying there are 5 examples of something where a pruta is significant. Hauda shove pruta, as we just said, by BavaMetzia, a minimum of he admits a pruta. Va'isha miskadeshes b'shove pruta, as we know from Masechta Kiddushin, that Kiddushin is with at least a minimum of a pruta. And somebody who gets a shavet pruta's worth of benefit from hekdish, me'ila. Somebody who finds a shavet pruta has to do a shavas aveda, he has to announce it. And somebody who steals a shavet pruta from his friend and swears that he did not steal it, and then subsequently admits it, he must return it to the victim. And he needs to, get it back to that fellow, even if he's all the way in Modai. Says the Gemara, Tanina Chadazimna. Oh, 1 second. We already learned about Onoah. Where did we learn about Onoah? Who could tell me what daf? Daf Memtes. The Mishnah Memtes. Ha'onah arba kesef, mesim ba'arba kesef, l'sel shtus l'mekach. No. Ha'onah arba kesef. We're saying this. We said this already 6 days ago. Ho. Tanina chadazim. No. Arba kesef, mesim ba'arba kesef, l'sel shtus l'mekach. Ho. Pasha quoted the Mishnah verbatim from Daf Memtes. Amud Beis. Hatayna shtei kesef v'ayda shav pruta estuichale. Well, ena chinami. It's very, very sharp, very attentive to point out that we already had this Mishnah. Pat on the back. But the Chiddush over here, the reason why we mention it is because really the Chiddush was not to teach us that Onah is a sixth, but rather Hatayna shtei kesef, to say that the minimum it has to be a claim of 2 kesefs, shavet pruta, and you admit a shavet pruta, it's trichle. That is why. So because we want to teach about that, that's why we mentioned onaa again. Onami tanina. But the truth is that we already learned about modeh b'miktsas in Masechta Shavuos. Chevra, we're getting close to everything, Chevra. The atlat, one step at a time, we are marching through Shas. We're already more than halfway through. We are also now just nearly halfway through Masechta BavaMetzia, then Bava Basra, Sanhedrin, Makis, and then Shavuos. Not that far away, but only a few Masechtas out. One by one, we are going to get everywhere, to all four corners of Shas. So Nami Tanina is also Mishnah Masechta Shavuos, Shavuos Hadayonin, that when it comes to an oath in court, Hataynish Tekesef Audah Shavet Pruta. So explain, Modev Mitzas is in a claim of 2 kesef, and you admit to Pruta. So say if it's Trichle Dekatani Chomish Pruta, saying, okay, you're right, we already taught Ona, we already taught Modev Mitzas. But then it talks about the 5 Prutas, Kiddushin, and whatever those other things, and Me'ila, and 3 others. So because we wanted to teach about those 5 Prutas, that's why it also mentioned the Ono and Oichet Modev Mitzas. Okay, fine. But the real chiddush was for the 5 that I wanted to teach was about the 5 prutas. Chomish prutas hein v'chulei. So we said that there are 5 prutas. V'lesnei nami ha'ona'a pruta. Why don't we also teach in the Mishnah that one of the ona'as is that one of the prutas is ona. That if something costs 6 prutas and you pay 7 prutas for it, so then that's ona. Amr of Kahana, so Sumer saying no the frutas. So if Kahana says, well, you see, there's no ona when it comes to prutas. It has to be at least kesef. What does Rashi say? B'pochus mi iser shumat beya shel kesef. There's no ona for anything less than an iser. An iser is sort of the smallest denomination of silver, right? We said isers, then pundions, then ma'as, then dinars, then shekels, then selas. I don't think I skipped anything. Rav Kaina also merits that this says enona lefrutis, that there's no una when it comes to prutas. It has to be silver. Prutas are copper. Una has to be silver. It has to be at least an isser. V'levi ami yeshona leprutis, and Levi says that the taka are that ona is applicable for prutas. V'chein tanu Levi masnise, Levi taka taught in his collection of brises. Chomish pruta, saying that there are 5 prutas. So ona pruta, that ona, an ona of a pruta is ona. V'audah pruta, as well as modem mixas is by pruta. V'kiddushay isha bepruta, in oichet kiddushay isha, kiddushin is bepruta. V'gezel bepruta, right? A person who steals and then denies it, that's oichet a pruta. Wait 1 second. Yeah, exactly. Rashi says, exactly. If he steals and then he swears that he didn't, so then he has to bring a korban shvuah. I think that's in Ashim Gezelos, right? And he's got to return it even to Madai. Okay, fine. V'yeshiva sadayonin bepruta. And also, in order for to be able to go to Bezdin, so then it has, right, you can go to Bezdin even for a pruta, right? Rashi says v'yeshiva sadayonin pruta l'misha yesh lo edim or shechayv mod v'dochayim l'shalem yesh v'adayonim v'yachufu also, right? That even if somebody's owed just a pruta, that's enough for Bezdin to adjudicate. So our Mishnah mentioned 5 prutas. Levi, in his collection of brises, mentioned 5 prutas. There were some differences. Right? Levi mentioned Yeshiva Sadayonim, that was not in our Mishnah. Levi mentioned Ona'a, which is not in our Mishnah. What was in our Mishnah that wasn't in Levi's brises? Me'ila, Hashava Saveda. So V'tani Dida, my time lo katani Yeshiva Sadayonim. How come our Mishnah doesn't mention the Yeshiva Sadayonim? Well, Tana le Gezel. Well, our Mishnah mentioned Gezel. So already our Mishnah was sort of covering its basis for monetary matters. Umilo Tani Gezel Katani Aveda, but yeah, come on, you can't tell me that, well, we already mentioned Gezel, therefore we're not talking about other monetary matters. Well, you mentioned Ashavas Aveda, that's also monetary. So Hanach Tzrichale, we needed both, because Gezel, Hagozal Mechaver Shabe Pruta, Vinishbalo, Yolechenu Achor, Vafilu Lemadai. Well, so the Chiddush of Gezel was that to teach us that if you steal a pruta, you even have to, and you swear that you didn't, and then you admit it, so you have to get it back to the person, even if it means going all the way to Madai. So it was teaching us that. And Aveda, what it had to teach us about Aveda is Amotze Aveda Shav Pruta Chayiv La'achris V'Afagav Dizol. That somebody who finds something that is Shava Pruta, but then it decreases in value, so it's no longer Shava Pruta, you still have to announce it. So there were two chiddushes. The chiddush by Shavas Aveda for something that went down in value, and by when you steal something, you have to go back, chase after him after Moda, even just for a Pruta. So those things were, so the Mishnah had to teach both of those. V'Levi, my time Lotani Aveda. How come Levi didn't mention Hashavas Aveda? Bipruta, Tana Legezel, because, well, he already mentioned theft. We look at Gezel Katani Yeshiva Sadayonim, yeah, but just because he mentioned theft, and he also mentioned the Yeshiva Sadayonim. So don't tell me that just because you mentioned theft, it covers all monetary things. After all, it also mentions Yeshiva Sadayonim, so why not also mention Hashavas Aveda? Yeshiva Sadayonim Nitzrichale, well, we needed to teach Yeshiva Sadayonim, Afukim Dev Katina, to the exclusion of Katina, the Amr of Katina, Bezdin Kokin Afilu Lepochus Mishvei Pruta. The Rav Katina says that Bezdin will adjudicate even for less than a Shavat Pruta. So Levi is saying that it has to be at least a Pruta. Levi, my time lo Katani Hekdish. Why didn't Levi mention Me'ilah? Our Mishnah mentions Me'ilah. Why didn't Levi mention it? B'chulin kamar b'kachim l'kamar, because Levi is talking about chulin. He wasn't talking about kachim, so therefore he left out Me'ilah. Elatana didon de kamar b'kachim. So our Mishnah, where it's talking about kachim, it's talking about Me'ilah. So nisni meiser b'pruta. So also mention that meiser sheni. When you pour the meiser sheni, it's a minimum of a pruta. So Commander Omer ein b'chumsho pruta. Well, it's like the opinion that we saw, I believe, 2 days ago, I think, that Meiser Sheni, actually, you only pour it if it's more than a pruta. If it's 4 prutas, where the chomesh will be a pruta. So the chomesh needs to be a pruta, not just the Meiser Sheni. V'lesni chomesh Meiser b'pruta. Okay, so mention that the chomesh of Meiser Sheni is something that needs to be a pruta. Bekarno kamay b'chomesh lo kamay. Yeah, but we're talking about principal amounts. We're not talking about chomesh amounts. Okay. Gufo, we said earlier, Amr of Katino, says of Katina, Bezdin is kokin afilu lepachus mishvei pruta. That Bezdin will adjourn, the Rav Katina says that Bezdin will adjourn even for less than a shvei pruta. Mosiv Rav Asakash, Ve'esa shechoto min hakodesh yishalim, l'rabos pachus mishvei pruta, le'ishavim. The kodesh shein aval lehedjit lo. Right, so again, so it says, Ve'esa shechoto min hakodesh yishalim. So by hekdish, so it says ve'es, and that's l'rabos pachos mishvei pruta, that by hektish, even if it's less than a shvei pruta, you return it, you pay for it. So the ishavun, that you return it. So l'kodesh in, aval lehedjit lo. That's only for hektish, but not for regular matters. You wouldn't adjourn, the bezin wouldn't adjourn for less than a shvei pruta for non-hektish matters. So elo itmar chitmar, rather if you can state it like this, Amar of Katina says of Katina, im huskiku bezdin the shvei pruta. Look, if it was worth a shvei pruta when Bezdin adjourned, so Gomer, so then we would complete the case, even the fachos mishvei pruta, even if it went down in value, henceforth, I don't know, since then, and now it's less than a shvei pruta, still you're going to complete what you started. We need a pruta at the beginning of the din, but not at the end. If it decreases in value, that's okay, even though it's less currently than a shvei pruta. You would nonetheless finish the case. However, we're going to stop here, just because if we start tomorrow, we'll start with the next Mishnah, because once we start the Gemara, there isn't really a great stopping point until the next Mishnah on Nuvav Mud Aleph. I think the other options, we could just do that. Honestly, it's a matter of, do we do a daf and half tomorrow, or do we do a daf and half today? I don't know. Let's just do a daf and half tomorrow, I guess. Peace.